I'd like to share with you 3 tips on how to lead people during times of uncertainty. With a crisis like we are facing now, uncertainty really becomes heightened. We simply don't know how this is going to play out. And so why is it that some people curl up into the fetal position during these times and others really thrive on it? Well, you see, fundamentally, our brain is a pattern recognition machine. It takes in information and it tries to categorize things. And this is really important, otherwise we'd be overwhelmed by the amount of information that comes in through all of our different senses. But when the brain picks up something that is unexpected or unpredictable or uncertain, then the brain goes into sort of a frenzy, kind of a meltdown, and it spends huge amounts of energy to try and figure out what's going on, to try and make sense of things. So our first tip in leading people through uncertainty is to acknowledge that the uncertainty exists in the first place, and this will generate a range of emotions, either positive emotions like excitement or negative emotions like a bit of anxiety or fear. And the response will depend entirely on the individual and what's going on in their lives and all the different factors that can impact on how they might in fact respond to this. As a leader, the goal of your communication is not to reduce uncertainty, but to help people manage the uncertainty. Some people are going to want more information to help them to cope with what's going on. Others won't need as much information and will be happy to sit comfortably with the uncertainty that's there. You can view uncertainty a bit like a continuum. On the one end, people really struggle with it and therefore will need more information to reduce the uncertainty. And on the other hand, some people will thrive on the uncertainty and may not need as much information. And so the third tip for helping people during these times is to focus on what is in their control. You see, with this global crisis going on, we know that in the long term we'll be fine. Humanity's been through many crises over the centuries, and we always end up being okay. But for the vast majority of us, we can't think that far out. We think in the short to medium term, which is where things are the most uncertain. So as a leader, focusing your teams on the things they can control will help them move through the uncertainty as quickly as possible. For example, focusing on how the team can operate remotely. What are the things that they can do if you have to physically close the office? This is something tangible and provides them with a sense of certainty. And finally, uncertainty is real. It's something that we need to acknowledge that people might be going through, and it's something that for you as a leader to increase your empathy and really support people during these times of change.